you guys. Welcome to day 3 of the Chill Power Challenge. I'm so glad you're here with me tonight and you carved out this time out of your busy schedule to take care of yourself. So tonight's theme is back care, and it's a little bit of a boring topic, but if you've ever had issues with your back, it becomes a huge priority in your life. So I just wanted to take the time to address it this week. So it's more of a preventative thing. If you have a chronic back issue right now, not probably really going to help you. In fact, it might aggravate it, but this is all stuff that's preventative so that hopefully over time you don't have as many back flare-ups. That's the ideal scenario. So we're going to start in just a sitting position. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. And if your back is pretty tight, you might want to elevate your hips up so that your hips are above your knees, maybe by propping a couple pillows under your hips, or a couple books, or if you have a yoga block, then you can certainly use that, okay? So just sitting, I just want you to bring awareness to your posture and how you naturally sit. And you're gonna hear me say this over and over again. I would love it if you could get off of the couch more and more and sit on the floor, because that's gonna make you aware of your posture, and it's also gonna help you to open up your hips. All right, so hopefully you're sitting on the floor somewhere, and awareness of, I'm just gonna turn to the side for a second, awareness of ears, shoulders, hips. That's in one line. So what I just want you to be mindful of, anytime that your ears throughout the day, your ears drift in front of your shoulders, that's when you want to be aware of your posture and align your ears, shoulders, and hips, okay? And what's the one thing we're all doing the most of right now? You know, on our phones. So that creates more flexion in the spine. You know, I worry about the kids in our culture so much because their neck and their shoulders and their backs are gonna be an issue. So bring this to the attention of your children as well. All right, so sitting up really tall and just have that awareness of crown of the head reaching to the sky and tailbone straight down to the floor beneath you. Hands on your knees and ears, shoulders, hips in line. Deep breath in, try to fill the ribs, fill the lungs completely. And then as you exhale, go ahead and slump the posture. Let the chin fall to the chest, let the shoulders drop away from the ears and around your spine. We're gonna move with the breath. So you're gonna inhale, sit up as tall as you can, open your heart, lift your chin away from your chest, and then exhale, round your spine, chin to chest, flex, and slump a little. One more time, deep breath in, open your heart, lift your collarbone, and then exhale, go ahead and round your spine, chin to chest, hollow the belly. And then sitting all the way back up tall, mindful of that posture and your alignment, go ahead and reach one arm up and over your head, laterally flexing the spine. So the spine moves in 3 planes. It's the flexion and extension that we just did. Now this is the lateral flexion, and this is a nice stretch for the side of the waist. Inhale, come all the way back up, and then exhale, take it to the other side. And just notice that your arm is right by your ear. That's what you're going for, not in front of it, but by the ear. Inhale, reach back up, sitting up tall as you do that. Exhale, take it to the side, going a little bit further if that feels comfortable on you. Inhale, come all the way back up, and one more time, take it to the other side. So stretching to the side, getting that good stretch in the side waist. Coming all the way back up. Now the third plane of movement that your spine goes in is rotation. So you're gonna take one hand across your opposite knee, sitting up tall, and then twist and look over your shoulder. You can press this hand a little bit into your knee, but don't be forceful. Let the neck twist as well, and then come back through center. So inhale as you come through center. Exhale, twist and look over your shoulder. And let's do it one more time on each side. Inhale, imagine your spine is like a spiral staircase, so just rotating through that spine. Exhale, twist and look over your shoulder. And one more time, back through center. And then inhale and exhale as you twist. So coming back through center, we're gonna come into a kneeling position, so on your hands and knees. And you just wanna make sure your knees are right underneath your hips and your hands are right underneath your shoulders. So shoulder, elbow, wrist in one line. Belly's pulling in and up, because strengthening the core is all of a huge part of maintaining healthy back. Take your right leg and kick it straight up behind you. Now what I want you to do is really push through your heels, so you're activating your leg, pull your belly in, and rotate your right inner thigh towards the ceiling. So if your hip is hiking up like that, you want the hip to drop down so the hip bones are level. Now keeping the belly engaged, you want to float your left arm straight up, so we're in spinal balance. Left thumb is reaching to the sky, and again, just notice that that left arm is right by your left ear. And then go ahead and put that hand and knee down, and let's switch sides. So left leg flexes back, hips are level, so left inner thigh to the ceiling. And then right arm right by the right ear with the right thumb reaching up. Now notice the belly button. Pull your belly button in and up, strengthen from the core of your body. And then go ahead and put that hand and knee down. And we're gonna flow with that. So you inhale, right leg, left arm. Find the top of the movement, engage. Exhale, put the hand and knee down, switching sides. Inhale up. Exhale down, breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale, right leg, left arm, flex and reach. Exhale, put it down one more time. Right arm, left leg. And exhale, put it down. Now that's a great core exercise, and it's all neutral spine. So that means no flexion as you're strengthening, which is good. We're gonna come into downward dog, so let's curl the toes, press back, and hinge the tailbone to the sky. Bend the left knee, drop the right heel down. A lot of times people have tight hamstrings, and that pulls on your back. So you wanna stretch out the hamstrings as well. And let's take one more deep breath in and out through the nose. Pull the belly in, press through the palms. And then we're gonna come to plank pose right into the top of a push-up. So this is a great core strengthener too. And same thing, you want alignment. So notice the shoulders, wrists, elbows. Notice the shoulders, hips, heels. Belly pulling in and up. If this is too much for you, you can certainly bend your knees to the mat and just work with a modified plank. Okay, otherwise let's take 2 more breaths in your plank and really pull your belly in, pull your ribs and hips towards each other. If you want to modify to come down, you bend your knees. Otherwise, with straight legs, you shift into your toes and come all the way to the mat. So we're going to do Sphinx pose next. So this is a great chest opener and a gentle back bend. So you want to bring the elbows right underneath the shoulders. And this is a gentle back bend, okay? Point your toes, and your feet can be a little bit wider than hip bone distance apart. Notice the back of your neck is nice and aligned with your thoracic spine. You don't want to, in other words, you don't want to crunch up here, crunching your neck, and you don't want to be here either. You just want the back of the neck long in line with your spine. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can press your hands and come into a little bit of a deeper stretch as long as that feels okay on your back. Otherwise, you just stay in your Sphinx for one more breath. And we're going to go ahead and lower down. Hands under the shoulders. You're going to push up to your hands and knees. And what I want you to do is come into cat pose, so that's rounding your spine. Get that good stretch through your low back. And then inhale to cow, so that's tilting the tailbone up, shrugging the shoulders back, and dropping the ribs. Exhale into cat, tuck the tailbone, round the spine. Inhale, coming into cow. Let's do that one more time. Exhale into cat. And inhale into cow. So we're going to repeat this a second time and add on. I'm going to curl the toes, lift the hips up, downward facing dog, push back, drop the heels, pull the belly in, press through the heels of the hands and the palms, and then inhale to your plank pose. Strengthen your whole body in a neutral position. So all that means is typically we think of core strength as like doing crunches, okay? But the best way to strengthen your core is in a neutral position, and notice right now the spine is neutral. You want to really push through the hands. Again, if you want to modify by bending your knees, feel free to do that. It's all good. Otherwise, with straight legs, lower all the way down. So Sphinx pose is next, and we're going to add on a side plank next, a forearm side plank. So what I want you to do first is just roll onto one side. You can turn to face me. Okay, this is a modified version of your forearm side plank for those of you who are newer. But if you want to try to strengthen a little bit more, you're going to lift your hips up from the floor. Make sure your elbow's right over your shoulder. And then top hand can reach up to the ceiling. Now really want to pull in through the belly and take this top hip and pull it up to the ceiling higher so you feel all that core strength. Take one more breath if you're really adventurous. Look up to your top thumb. Might affect your balance. Don't stress if you lose your balance. Square off to the mat. Good job, you guys. It was not easy. Come all the way down. You're gonna come into locust pose next. So hands interlaced behind the tailbone. Float your feet up, float your chest and your head up. Squeeze your palms together. And this is strengthening the whole back line of the body. So you don't want to just strengthen the core in the front, but the core is also in the back. One more breath. See if you can lift 1/4 inch higher and then lower down. Coming back into your Sphinx. We've got to get that forearm plank on the other side. So modified first by rolling to the side. I'm sorry, I got to turn away from you. But just make sure your elbow's under your shoulder. And then if you want to come into the more challenging one, you're going to lift your hips up. Take your top hand and lift it up, and really lift your hips up to the ceiling, and that's really going to engage the core, especially on the lower side. Take one more breath, look up to your top thumb if you can, and square off to the mat. Good, lower your hips and your knees. Nice job, you guys. Interlace your fingers behind your sacrum for locust pose. And again, this strengthens the whole back line of the body. Bring your big toes together to touch if you can. Squeeze your big toes together. Pull your wrists back towards your heels. And then lower down. We're going to push back to a stretch called shell stretch, which I love for your back. So you're going to start in that cat position that we did earlier, rounding your spine, pressing your spine up, and then maintaining that flexion in your spine. Just reach your tailbone back towards your heels. So you keep your spine rounded as you reach your tailbone back, and that's just such a great stretch for your low back. Take a deep breath and try to fill up the back of your body, like your ribs. And then release all the way down into a child's pose. So you can separate your knees a little wider apart if you want to. And then from here, you're going to walk your hands off of the right side of your mat. Walk your left hand a little further away, and this is just such a great stretch. The lats all the way into your low back. And then take it up through center and to the other side. Walk your hand a little further away, head drops down. And then lift it up, and you can go ahead and lie down on your back. So a lot of times hips, because we're sitting so much, hips get really tight. So we're gonna just finish off with a reclined pigeon stretch and a twist, and then I will send you on your merry way. So put one foot down on the floor. Let's just put our left foot down on the floor, cross the right ankle over the left knee, and push the right knee away from your face. And then pick your left foot up from the floor. This is reclined pigeon. And then take your hands and interlace them underneath your left thigh. And just once you get yourself into position, by the way, you want your neck to be in a neutral position too. So just turn your head so that your nose is pointing up to the ceiling and the back of your neck is long and relaxed. Let's take one more breath here. If you want to deepen the stretch, push your thigh into your right ankle and push your right ankle back into your left thigh, and that's going to deepen your stretch a little. And then release that foot down, and you're going to stay just where you are. So your left foot's on the floor, the right ankle's crossed over. You're just going to drop your right foot over to the left side of the room. Now I know this Facebook Live films things backwards, so it might be that you're on the opposite foot, and that's all good, as long as you switch when we do the other side. Hands can go out into a wide T position. Take a deep breath and just let that gentle rotation in your spine with your exhale. And let's go ahead and come all the way back up to center and get an easy hamstring stretch. So left foot's going to be flat on the floor, right leg straight up. So your hands are interlaced behind your right thigh. Your head and your neck are relaxed down. Your shoulders are relaxed down. And you're just lifting your right heel up to the ceiling and pulling that right thigh into the rib cage. So you get that nice, easy hamstring stretch. Doesn't have to be fancy. Let's switch sides with the hip stretch. So right foot can come to the mat, left ankle over right knee, left knee pushes away, and then right foot picks up from the floor for your pigeon, hands underneath your right thigh. And then again, just check that your neck is in line with your spine, nose pointed up to the ceiling, chin a little bit to your chest so that lengthens out your neck. And then you want to push your right thigh gently into your left ankle and push your left ankle into your right thigh, and that's going to deepen the stretch. You feel it a little bit more when you do that, right? Make sure you're breathing, nice deep breaths, and you're not forcing and you're not judging like we talked about last night. Go ahead and put your right foot down on the floor, and then your left foot is going to drop over to your right side. And you can spread your arms out wide into that T position, get that nice twist. And this gets a little bit, it depends on where you're tight. Everyone's different, okay? So maybe you don't feel this at all, and maybe it's a really strong stretch for you, and it's all good. It's different really for everyone. Take one more deep breath in and out through your nose. And exhale, come back to center. So your right foot's going to be flat on the floor, the left leg straight up for your easy hamstring stretch. Make sure your tailbone is dropped down to the mat, by the way. You don't want to be lifting the tailbone up in your stretch. You want your tailbone anchored down. Heel lifting up to the ceiling and toes flexing a little bit towards your face will intensify the stretch. Take one more breath. And then I'm gonna have you kick, I'm just gonna show you a little trick. You're gonna kick your hamstring into your hand. So you can get a little momentum as you kick your hamstring into your hand. You can try it a few times. That's a great way to help yourself get up from the floor and protect your back at the same time. So go ahead and come all the way up to sitting. And when you come back up to sitting, bring your attention back to your posture. Because ultimately, that's all we're really trying to work on with all these fancy yoga poses. We're just ultimately trying to work on posture and breathing, right? So ears, shoulders, hips, one line. And we'll be talking about this a little bit more tomorrow. At 12 o'clock, we'll have a desk warrior sequence. So we'll be talking a little bit about posture then, which, you know, again, is a little bit of a boring topic, but it is so important. It's so important. And these are stretches that you can do on your travel day for Thanksgiving too, on a plane or in a car, if you're not driving, that is. All right, so that's your sequence for this evening. Thank you so much for staying till the end. You got a little overtime in. We went a little over. It's hard for me to really squeeze it all in 10 minutes. Make sure you drink lots of water. And last night I took an Epsom salt bath. I would highly recommend doing that as well. It really helps to relax your muscles and get you a nice deep sleep. So let's take a deep breath in together. You're going to sweep your arms all the way out and up. Stretch your hands to the sky. You can look up and watch your palms touch. And then exhale, bring your hands back to heart center. The light within me honors and acknowledges that same light that is within you. Thank you for being here. Namaste. And I just wanted to mention, I almost forgot this, for those of you who do have back issues, I have 3 things that I often use, and we will be doing a sequence with this next week. So if you don't have myofascial release balls, there is a link on my site that just goes to Amazon because they're a little hard to find. There are myofascial release balls for self-massage. You can certainly use tennis balls or lacrosse balls, although I don't like the consistency of either of those. These are much, much better. So get those because you're gonna want them next week. Foam roller as well, an amazing tool to self-massage your back. We'll be doing a short bonus segment with that as well. You can get these at Dick's Sporting Goods, you can get them at Target, you know, and you can order it certainly, of course, on Amazon. And then finally, this is a favorite product of mine. It's called Deep Blue Rub. I don't know if you can see that. It's a fantastic, amazing combination of essential oils. It's from doTERRA, and anytime I have any muscle soreness, this is my go-to product. It is fantastic, magical. All right, so I didn't want to forget to share those few little tips with you if you do tend to deal with some chronic aches and pains. All right, so that is it for the night. Thank you again.